Los Angeles, a city of illusions where Hollywood sells dreams, but real estate holds the actual power. Behind the palm-lined streets and billion-dollar skylines lies a hidden empire. We aren't talking about celebrities renting mansions. We are exposing the titans who own the concrete, the high-rises, and the luxury hotels defining the West Coast. From a pioneer who escaped slavery to own downtown LA, to the modern billionaires battling City Hall for billion-dollar mega-projects, this is the definitive countdown of the Black real estate kings of Los Angeles. Number 5. The Foundation, Bridget "Biddy" Mason. To understand the architecture of Black wealth in Los Angeles, you cannot start in the modern boardroom. You have to travel back to the raw, unpaved streets of the 19th century and look at the woman who laid the literal groundwork for the city's Black economic power. Bridget "Biddy" Mason was not a traditional real estate developer, but her story represents the absolute genesis of Los Angeles property acquisition. Born into the brutal institution of slavery in Georgia in 1818, Mason's early life was defined by unimaginable hardship and forced labor. She survived the harrowing conditions of the American South before being forcibly moved across the country. Her enslaver, Robert Marion Smith, forced her to walk 1,700 miles behind a wagon train from Mississippi to Utah, and eventually to San Bernardino, California. At this time, California presented a profound legal paradox. It was officially a free state, yet many enslavers attempted to maintain their illegal hold over human beings within its borders. It was in this volatile environment that Mason met Charles H. Rowan and Elizabeth Flake Rowan, a free African-American couple who recognized her plight and actively mentored her toward liberation. In a breathtaking display of courage, Mason utilized the California court system in 1856 to challenge her enslaver. Presiding over the case Mason versus Smith, Judge Benjamin Hayes officially granted freedom to Biddy and 13 members of her extended family, legally emancipating her at the age of 38. But winning her freedom was only the first step. Funding it was the next. Mason possessed highly specialized, invaluable skills as a midwife and a nurse. In the rapidly growing settlement of Los Angeles, medical expertise was a premium commodity. She worked closely with prominent local physician Dr. John Strother Griffin, and because she was exceptionally skilled and fluent in Spanish, she served a diverse, high-profile clientele across the region. Her reputation grew so formidable that she even treated Pío de Jesús Pico, the very last governor of California before the territory was fully integrated into the United States. Mason did not simply spend her medical earnings. She executed a strategy of aggressive, disciplined capital accumulation. After years of meticulous saving and market observation, she made her first major move in 1866. She purchased a plot of land located at 331 Spring Street for the modest sum of $250. Today, that specific geographic footprint sits right in the beating heart of the downtown Los Angeles financial district. At a time when many African Americans across the country were still legally considered property, Mason was acquiring prime commercial real estate. This single transaction fueled an ambitious expansion. Her real estate portfolio blossomed over the ensuing decades, expanding to include large swaths of what is now the most expensive commercial land in Southern California. By the time of her passing in 1891, Mason had amassed a staggering personal fortune estimated at $300,000, an amount equivalent to approximately $7 million in today's currency. She was universally recognized as one of the wealthiest women in Los Angeles. Yet her wealth was never isolated. She leveraged her prime real estate to uplift her community, utilizing her land to help establish the first African Methodist Episcopal AME Church in 1872, the city's very first Black congregation. Today, her legacy is immortalized at Biddy Mason Park in downtown LA, cementing her status as the foundational monarch of the city's real estate history. Number 4. The Financing King, Ben Slayton. Owning the land is one half of the real estate equation. Controlling the capital that purchases the land is the other. While moguls erect high-rises, the true systemic power lies in the hands of the financiers who dictate who gets approved for a mortgage and who gets denied. Enter Ben Slayton, a man who didn't just break the glass ceiling of real estate financing, he completely dismantled it. Slayton's resume reads like a masterclass in breaking systemic barriers. With a staggering 59-year career in the real estate and mortgage industry, he has witnessed and shaped the evolution of property ownership in America. Growing up during an era where segregation was not just a social norm, but a heavily enforced legal reality, African Americans were systematically denied access to decent housing and educational opportunities. In Los Angeles, discriminatory practices like redlining and restrictive racial covenants literally drew lines on maps, barring Black families from building generational wealth in affluent neighborhoods. Slayton's entry into the business world came through a unique apprenticeship. He was adopted by a Jewish family who took him under their wing and taught him the intricate mechanics of the real estate and mortgage business. From that foundational education, Slayton went on an absolute tear through the industry, securing a legendary list of firsts. In an era fraught with racial tension, he became the first Black member of the National Association of Realtors, integrating an organization that had long controlled the keys to the American housing market. He didn't stop at membership. He pushed into ownership, becoming the very first Black man to be accepted as a franchisee broker owner for Century 21. Navigating corporate franchise structures requires immense capital and operational excellence, proving Slayton's undeniable business acumen. But his most significant power move occurred in the institutional finance sector, where he became the first African American to be approved by Freddie Mac as a multifamily program plus seller and servicer. In the complex world of commercial real estate, being a Freddie Mac servicer means you are operating at the highest level of institutional liquidity, controlling the flow of millions of dollars in multifamily housing capital. You aren't just selling homes. You are underwriting, originating, and managing the debt on massive apartment complexes. Today, Slayton channels his half-century of expertise into a singular, monumental mission. He is the CEO of Legacy Home Loans, the largest Black-led mortgage lender in the United States, which he established in 2018. Based out of Las Vegas, but operating with massive influence across the Los Angeles market and licensed in 38 states, Slayton's company is a weapon designed to combat systemic inequity. He identified a critical, devastating metric: the 30% home ownership gap between Black and white Americans. Statistically, for every 10 Black families, only 4 own their homes, compared to 7 out of 10 white families. To attack this disparity head-on, Slayton set a ferocious corporate objective: to lend $1 billion in mortgage loans to African Americans by the end of 2023, and to repeat that massive capital deployment every single year thereafter. He is strategically building branch offices in communities where the population is at least 25% African American, ensuring that the capital flows directly to the demographics that need it most. Ben Slayton proves that true real estate kings don't just build homes. They build the financial infrastructure that allows millions of others to buy them. Number 3. The hospitality heavyweight, Kenneth H. Fearn. While residential real estate builds generational wealth, commercial hospitality real estate is where the truly elite private equity players operate. The hotel industry is notoriously complex, requiring not just property acquisition, but intense operational management, brand repositioning, and massive capital expenditures. In the fiercely competitive Los Angeles landscape, Kenneth H. Fearn has quietly established himself as an apex predator in this highly specialized asset class. Kenneth H. Fearn is the founder and managing partner of Integrated Capital LLC, a leading private equity real estate advisory and investment firm that focuses almost exclusively on the hospitality sector. Founded in 2004 and headquartered directly in Los Angeles, California, Integrated Capital represents the evolution of Black wealth into the sophisticated world of institutional private equity. Fearn understood early on that hotels are not just buildings, they are operating businesses wrapped inside real estate assets. Unlike an office building where a tenant signs a 10-year lease, a hotel's leases last for a single night, making revenues highly volatile and dependent on daily operational excellence. By mastering both the real estate valuation and the operational efficiency of the hospitality business, he positioned his firm to generate massive returns for his limited partners. Since its inception, Fearn's firm has executed with surgical precision, acquiring more than $500 million in hospitality assets across both primary and secondary markets throughout the United States. When you look at the catalog of brands under the Integrated Capital umbrella, you are looking at the absolute blue chips of the global hotel industry. His portfolio features properties branded under Marriott, Courtyard, Residence Inn, Sheraton, Crown Plaza, DoubleTree, and Holiday Inn. The genius of Fearn's strategy lies in the firm's core competencies. Integrated Capital doesn't just buy stabilized, boring assets and hold them. They specialize in the heavy lifting of real estate private equity, asset management, aggressive renovation, complex financing, and strategic repositioning. In the industry, this is known as the value-add strategy. Repositioning a hotel means acquiring an underperforming property, injecting millions into capital improvements, specifically furniture, fixtures, and equipment, FF&E, bringing in a superior management team, and entirely rebranding it to attract a higher-paying demographic. This intensive process forces two critical metrics to rise: the average daily rate, ADR, and the revenue per available room, RevPAR. Consequently, the net operating income, NOI, skyrockets, exponentially increasing the underlying value of the real estate before the firm eventually sells the stabilized asset for a massive profit. Operating out of Los Angeles, a global destination with one of the most lucrative, heavily zoned, and competitive hotel markets on Earth, Fearn navigates a landscape dominated by institutional giants. Yet, through rigorous financial discipline and deep industry relationships, his firm consistently identifies and executes on high-yield opportunities. Kenneth H. Fearn represents the transition of Black real estate moguls from local community developers to national private equity titans, moving hundreds of millions of dollars through the hospitality infrastructure of America. Number 2. The National Titan, Don Peebles and the Angel's Landing drama. If Kenneth H. Fearn operates with the quiet precision of private equity, our next mogul operates with the loud, undeniable force of a national titan. Don Peebles is widely considered the most successful Black real estate developer in the United States, and his attempt to reshape the Los Angeles skyline is a masterclass in both extreme ambition and intense political warfare. Peebles founded the Peebles Corporation in 1983, building a privately held national investment and development company that specializes in residential, hospitality, retail, and mixed-use commercial properties. With corporate offices spanning New York City, Miami, and Washington, D.C., his portfolio of active and completed developments totals more than 10 million square feet and a staggering $8 billion in asset value. For over 35 years, Peebles has guided his firm using the principles of affirmative development, a specific strategy designed to empower women and minorities, create generational wealth, and actively close the wealth gap by mandating that at least 35% of all company contracts go to women and minority-owned firms. But it was in Los Angeles where Peebles sought to build his ultimate crown jewel. In April 2017, the city initiated a highly competitive request for proposals to develop a 2.2-acre sloping site in the downtown Bunker Hill neighborhood. Bunker Hill has a complex history. Once a neighborhood of Victorian mansions, it was controversially leveled in the 1960s for urban renewal. This specific site, formerly known as Angels Knoll Park, made famous by the film 500 Days of Summer, was the very last prime parcel of land owned by the city of Los Angeles. Through a powerful joint venture with Claridge Properties and fellow mogul Victor MacFarlane, Angel's Landing Partners LLC was officially selected by city officials to bring their vision to life. The proposal for Angel's Landing was nothing short of historic. Valued at a breathtaking $1.2 billion to $1.6 billion, the mega project called for two massive skyscrapers to alter the city's silhouette. The centerpiece tower was designed to rise 64 stories, reaching 850 feet into the sky, which would have made it one of the tallest buildings on the entire West Coast. The second tower was planned to stand 42 stories and 600 feet tall. The complex was set to feature luxury hotels operated by SLS and Mondrian, 250 condominiums, 425 rental units, a sprawling retail plaza, and, crucially, a charter elementary school designed to make downtown LA a viable home for families. It was heralded as the largest African-American-led development in the city's history. However, the reality of Los Angeles real estate development is often a brutal, politically charged blood sport. Despite the grand vision, Angel's Landing quickly became mired in severe controversy, delays, and high-stakes litigation. City officials accused the Peebles-led team of gross mismanagement, citing missed deadlines and a lack of financing transparency, while watchdog organizations pointed to the project as a cautionary tale of overestimating aspirational proposals. As years passed, the site remained a vacant, fenced-off patch of overgrown weeds. The situation completely deteriorated in late 2022. A massive political scandal rocked the city when leaked audio surfaced of a private conversation at City Hall featuring prominent LA politicians making racist remarks. Peebles and MacFarlane immediately called for the resignation of the council members involved in the scandal, citing racism and bias as critical factors in their refusal to continue working with certain city officials. In October 2023, the city sent a default letter claiming an unpermitted transfer of interests, and by February 2024, Los Angeles abruptly terminated the agreement entirely. Peebles, a man known for his philosophy that his company thrives in challenging environments and recessions, did not back down. The developers fired back with a massive lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles, claiming wrongful termination, breach of contract, and political interference. Peebles stated on the record that the city's claim of a development breach was completely false. The lawsuit seeks to recover over $20 million that the developers had already invested in preliminary planning, complex legal zoning fees, and extensive architectural work. Late last year, a court ruled that the city had indeed unlawfully terminated the contract, ordering them to pay the developers out-of-pocket costs, while litigation over further damages continues to rage on. The Angel's Landing saga proves that at the billionaire level, real estate is not just about pouring concrete. It is a high-stakes war involving politics, optics, and relentless legal strategy. Number 1. The undisputed king of DTLA, Victor B. MacFarlane. While Don Peebles brought national drama to the Los Angeles market, our final mogul is the man who has spent decades quietly, efficiently, and massively executing actual developments that have fundamentally altered the physical reality of the city. If there is a true, undisputed king of Los Angeles real estate, it is Victor B. MacFarlane. Victor B. MacFarlane is the executive chairman and chief executive officer of MacFarlane Partners, a premier real estate investment management and development firm he founded back in 1987. With an astonishing 40 years of real estate experience, MacFarlane's career is a blueprint for institutional dominance. He holds a Juris Doctor from the UCLA School of Law and an MBA from the University of Pittsburgh, combining sharp legal acumen with elite financial structuring. Under his direct leadership, MacFarlane Partners did something revolutionary in the 1990s. They pioneered the urban investment concept among institutional real estate managers. Partnering heavily with massive institutional capital like the California Public Employees Retirement System, CalPERS, MacFarlane shifted the paradigm. While traditional pension funds and institutions were obsessed with safe, boring suburban office parks, MacFarlane saw the untapped exponential value in urban revitalization and smart growth development. By aggressively targeting dense, transit-adjacent urban cores, his firm has successfully invested a mind-blowing $13 billion in properties nationwide. His strategic agility is unmatched. In 1996, he sold his core, separate account investment management business to GE Capital, stepping in to serve as the CEO of GE Capital Investment Advisors. He spearheaded massive international initiatives for GE Capital Real Estate, an entity with $20 billion in assets worldwide, before resigning in 1999 to aggressively rebuild MacFarlane Partners into an entrepreneurial powerhouse. He recently proved his fundraising supremacy yet again by closing a massive $1 billion for the MacFarlane Urban Real Estate Fund II, securing capital from domestic and foreign pension plans and bringing the fund's total capitalization with leverage to approximately $4 billion. But it is his specific footprint in Los Angeles that earns him the crown. MacFarlane does not just plan buildings, he completes them. He was the driving force behind the hotel and residences at LA Live, a spectacular 54-story high-rise that serves as the visual cornerstone of the massive sports and entertainment district adjacent to the Crypto.com Arena, formerly Staples Center, and the LA Convention Center. This single project catalyzed the gentrification and revitalization of the South Park neighborhood. His dominance over the downtown Los Angeles skyline is absolute. Just a block away from the historic Pershing Square, MacFarlane Partners recently completed two massive residential developments. The first is Park Fifth, a stunning 24-story, transit-adjacent high-rise featuring 347 luxury rental apartments, a 360-degree view rooftop deck, and premium retail space. Directly complementing this is Trademark, a beautiful 7-story residential mid-rise offering 313 rental apartments and a sprawling 14,000-square-foot outdoor courtyard built right across from the square. MacFarlane's vision extends across various asset classes in the city. He executed the highly complex conversion of 1,100 Wilshire. This unique triangular glass tower was built in the 1980s as office space but sat largely vacant for nearly 2 decades. MacFarlane stepped in, transforming the aging commercial asset into highly coveted residential condominiums, complete with a legendary 17th-floor amenity deck. Beyond downtown, he renovated and entirely repositioned the Ladera Center, a vital neighborhood shopping hub in LA's Ladera Heights. He also developed the Holly West Promenade, a brilliant mixed-use property integrating retail space with affordable senior housing directly across from a Hollywood subway station, proving his commitment to transit-oriented development. While he was the primary partner alongside Don Peebles in the embattled Angels Landing project, MacFarlane's legacy in Los Angeles is already cemented in steel and glass. When the pandemic struck and recessionary pressures crippled the LA economy, MacFarlane remained steadfast, utilizing his completed projects like Park Fifth as proof of his unshakable faith in the economic future of downtown Los Angeles. He serves on the boards of directors for major entities like Curbline Properties Corporation and Veris Residential, and co-founded the Real Estate Executive Council to promote the interests of minority commercial real estate executives. Victor MacFarlane doesn't just build in Los Angeles. He owns the skyline, moving billions of dollars of institutional capital to reshape the very fabric of the city. Wealth isn't just about the money you make, it's about the earth you own. If this deep dive inspired you, subscribe to Black Status, leave a like, and we will see you in the next one.